Hello, and welcome to another episode of Building This City. When we last left off, I was putting together the ABBA switch over there, and I had run some of the circuitry, but not all of it. So, as you can see, there's a little bit that I have done in the meantime, mostly because I did not want to subject anybody to the constant scaffolding and falling and anyway, for something that's just as simple as running redstone circuits. So let's take a look real quick. Alright, so we've got the ABBA switch, which is technically now an ABCD DCBA switch, since there are 4 circuits. They are all running into their respective circuits, and you can see I've got the colored clay signifying the various things to take a look at. So let's just jump around on here. Hopefully I don't fall. Okay, so I've separated them out by colors. Orange is going to be running the dispensers. Yellow is going to be running the side bank of 6 sticky pistons. The green one is going to be running a bottom set of 2 sticky pistons, and I'll show you that after I talk about this real quick. The red is running the top sticky piston. So let's go over and wonder. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So when we set up the door, you saw me put in a set of sticky pistons up at the top, and then 8 sticky pistons set across the side, and then these 2 dispensers. Now, it may not be clear what I'm going to do. It might be, so we'll by the end of this episode, we'll see, and we'll be testing it. So I've got these 2 bottom pistons that I want to run separately from these top 6. Okay, so the yellow's running the top 6, and the green is running the bottom 2. Okay, and the way I've got that set up, in fact, I've got that testing circuit over there. Maybe we'll go hit that in just a moment. But they're just it's a direct circuit to the green one and the red one. So when this switch comes on, when the ABBA switch comes on, and the signal hits the green and the red, it's just a direct current, and it's going to turn on those sticky pistons. Okay, so in the day, those sticky pistons will be extended. Now I can't easily get over to that circuit, so you know what, let's just pull one of these guys here. No, that's not going to work. We'll do a stick, and do I have any cobble? I have no cobble. There's some. Let's make another lever real quick, just so I can show you this. Just want one. And I did not put it right in my inventory where I wanted. Alright. So the circuit is now on, and you notice that bottom piston, those bottom 2 are extended, and you can't see the dispensers anymore because the top ones are extended. And that's kind of hard to see from here too. Maybe a little bit there. Okay. Now I left the more interesting circuits to show on camera, okay? Because we got to talk about these a little bit. Now, these dispensers, if you're familiar with dispensers, you already know this. If you're not, dispensers respond to a redstone input and they fire whatever is inside of them whenever the redstone input comes on. Okay? If I was to do a direct circuit or direct signal from the ABBA switch whenever the light turned on, so because that's going to be a daylight sensor, these dispensers would fire when the daytime came, and then the next day they'd fire again. But what I want is I want them to fire once in the daytime and once at night. So what I needed was something that switches whenever the input changes, okay? And there is a term for those circuits, and it's called a dual edge detector. And I've got it mostly hooked up. I haven't wired it though, so we're going to see that real quick. So there we go, and I fell. Okay, so this contraption right here, this set, the sticky piston redstone block, that one, that one, that one, and that one are all part of the dual edge detector. Okay, so let's throw some redstone on there real quick. And I've got dirt, so we'll make a little dirt elevator. What I need is 2 of those, and 1 right here. Notice it comes on because the redstone block is right here powering that. Okay. Yeah, I've got a shovel. Make this a little bit easier here. Oh, and I can't get up there. Okay. Alright. The other thing, the other part of it is this redstone torch. Okay. And if you noticed, I've got everything separated so that that redstone torch doesn't cause any interference. Okay, so now we've got this, what's called a dual edge detector. Okay, what's going to happen is when the input changes, so when that signal comes on, the sticky piston will extend, temporarily cut off this, which will then pulse this, turn it on, and then the redstone block will come down and will be right over the redstone that's on that brick. Okay, it will then power that, which will come this way, run into this block, invert the signal again, and that comes off. So it turns a signal into a pulse. Okay, and that's what we need. We just need a pulse. That's all we need for those dispensers. So let's see if we can get over. You'll be able to hear it. You won't be able to see anything because there's nothing in there yet. Okay, so bear with me. Again, it is much more difficult in survival than in creative. So let's just go to the other side. Turn on the lever that I've put away, and then you should hear it. Okay, listen for it. Did you hear that click? That was the dispensers. Okay, so okay, dispensers are working. That's good. Alright, so let's turn this off because we don't want that for too much longer. And then we need to finish up one more thing. If you notice, see that yellow right there? The signal is coming from the ABBA switch into that block right there. Okay, and it continues right here. Well, right here. I'm not going to punch that because that'll knock the dust off. We've got a gap. We've got to fill that in, but I got to tell you what we need first. We need another pulse. Okay, these things just need to be pulsed once, and they need to be pulsed only when it is daylight. Okay, so when the daylight sensor switches from night to day, that is when those should be pulsed. Okay, we will need what is called a rising edge detector or a pulse shortener. Okay, and we are going to build one of those right after this little nighttime break. Be right back. Alright, so we are back. Okay, the rising edge detector, I found a pretty short one, or a pretty compact one. We're going to put it right here. It's a little bit noisy because of the sticky piston, but my main concern was fitting all of this circuitry in a reasonable amount of space. Okay, now this is not done. It may look done, it's not quite. So we've got the circuit hooked up, so what's going to happen is the redstone signal comes from the switch into here. This repeater takes it into this block, which then powers the sticky piston. Okay, now what's going to happen is the sticky piston will extend because of the redstone signal. Okay, but temporarily the signal is going to come through this block and extend to this repeater and then go on to the rest of the circuit, and then the sticky piston is going to extend, which will break this continuation, and this part will turn off. Okay, let's see that in action and you'll see why it's not quite done. Okay, when we get to final testing, don't worry, I'm going to make a much longer input source. Okay, a lot of stuff going on there. It's rather loud. Look at that. What just happened? Oh, look at that. It extended and then contracted, and it left these blocks. I'm not sure whether that's a bug in Minecraft or just the way sticky pistons work, but if the piston pulses too fast, the stickiness does not register. Okay, so what will happen is it will push the block out and then leave the block there. It will act almost like a regular piston. So what we need to do is extend that pulse just a little bit, because that is what is known, I think, as a half tick pulse. We just need to extend it a little bit. Okay, so we'll go turn off. Now it's not going to fix itself when I turn off the circuit, because it is a rising edge detector. It only fires when the signal comes in. So you notice they did not extend. Okay, so it grabbed them again. So I almost forgot something before I put all of this together, is that I needed to create this bottom chamber. It's 2.5 high. There's half slabs over hoppers, and then there's this chest here the hoppers both go into. Okay, you'll see why that's important in just a moment. Now, one of the things that we have to do is currently these are on. Okay, so the pistons are extended at the top and the bottom, and now I need to put in what I want to actually fire out of the dispensers. Okay, I need to do that before I force the circuit to go. So here we go. Now we're simulating it's daytime, so the signal is on, and that's why these pistons are extended and these pistons are extended. I've put this dirt here just in case something bad happens, because it's never fun to mess with lava and be wrong about what's going on. So let me pull these out so you can see what's going on. Okay, so far so good. Anything going on there? Okay. Alright, now you'll see why we need to extend these, or I'll explain it, but you'll see what happens when they do. Hopefully our lava buckets don't get eaten up. Okay, See that? The reason that these have to extend is because lava takes a while to go away. And so what I want to happen is for all of the lava to go away before these close. And I can't stop those but too long. The circuit would require a really long repeater to stop these. So if I closed the bottom before all of this lava goes away, then the rest of that lava is going to flow outward over the whole walkway, and that's not very good for somebody that's just coming in. So that is what we are dealing with at the moment, and that's what we've got for the gate so far. The only thing left is to pretty it up. Let's do one more test. Back up, and good. And closed. Okay, now it's safe to go through. Now, this little chamber at the bottom, oh hey, didn't do anything. Okay, so half slabs stop the lava from coming out, so we can just watch what's going on in here. So if a zombie or a skeleton or a creeper decide to come in here through this gate, they will fall into this trench and then burn. Their items may burn up also, but I've got this collector just in case. So that's why we've got that. So the only thing left to do is to clean up and pretty it up, and I will do that off camera because it takes a little bit of time, and we are all done for this episode, and I want to move on to other things. Talk to you all later.